Hello students, welcome back to my channel, that is Dr. Noor Firdaus channel, exploring the world of business management. So here I am taking you to the topic principles of management, and we are doing the course on principles of management. And today the topic what I'll be doing is very important topic, that is management by objectives, MBO. Yes. Before we start with the topic, let me check with you. Let me ask you one question. Have you subscribed to my channel? No? Please subscribe it right now. Please support my channel to bring up more videos to you. And have you written comments? Then please write down comments, correct? And along with that, please like my videos and also share my videos. I assume that you do all these things to support my channel, and I will be here to enhance your knowledge in the subject principles of management. This subject not only holds good in correct business studies. The subject is there in business studies in first PU and second PU, and it is there in correct and these topics are there in engineering, it is there in BBM, it is there in BCom, and it is also there in MBA. So all these courses, along with that, if you are writing UGC NET, or if you are writing UPSC exam and you take management as your subject, then this is the subject from where 30% questions will come. That is from principles of management. Keeping all these things in mind, I have designed this beautiful course, and one by one, in detail I am teaching you, so that universally all of you can take advantage from my videos. So today, let us go ahead with our topic, that is objectives, right? What do you mean by objectives? I've already explained you in my earlier classes. No management can sustain without objectives. Objectives very important. Objectives are nothing but the goals. Goals are very important. Without goal in your life, you can't do anything. And without goal, a manager, without having a proper objective, a manager will not be able to plan his activities. So objective plays a very important role. Then what is this objective? Objective is verifiable. When at the end of the period, one can determine whether or not it has been achieved. So objectives served as standards, which tells you what you have to do, and at the end you can measure and say whether you have achieved your goal, whether you have achieved what you want to achieve, or you did not achieve. Are you successful in achieving, or you are not successful in achieving? You get to know only through your objectives. That is why the objectives are very, very important, and these objectives have hierarchy. I have put the hierarchy in pyramid shape because the top level is very small, that is the tip of the triangle, and the bottom of pyramid, correct, the bottom is very broad, where you have all individual objectives, everything there. So socio and economic purpose is the first objective, that is at the country level you can have. Then mission is at the business level. What is mission statement? I've taught you in detail in my previous class. Please go through that video for understanding mission statement. Then overall objectives of organization, long range or strategic range, your overall objectives of your organization you have to lay down. Then more specific objective like HR objective, marketing objective, finance objective, production objective. Then division objective, each division will have objective. Then you have department objective. From department objective, it will get break to individual objective. Each one of you will achieve objective. Then you should be able to achieve your task. So that is what we call it as the objectives. Correct? So, and these are the different levels of objectives we have. And objectives are very important because it laid down the standard for performance on which you will be performing. So let us see more in detail about objectives. Yes. Yes, let us talk about the more details in objectives. That is the characteristics of objectives. See, objectives can't be, you can't have one objective and on that you will be working. Objectives are always multiple in nature. You have so many objectives. So your objective may be going to the college on time, then your objective may be spending time with your friends, and your objective may be having good food. So these are the three objectives you may have at a minimum level. So in your organization also, one side you wanted to achieve your sales target, one side you want to achieve your production, one side you want to satisfy your employees. You have multiple. So objectives are multiple in nature. And these objectives could be tangible or intangible. Tangible is objectives which you can express in quantitative terms. Like for example, sales. Intangible is something which you cannot express in quantitative terms. These are qualitative aspects. Example, your employee satisfaction. Your employee are satisfied or not, you will not get to know. Because directly also if you ask, yeah, we are happy, they will try. But what is there inside them, you have to understand, it takes time. So that is called as intangible. Then objectives have priority. I have 10 objectives, that does not mean that all 10 I will achieve at one time. Each objective I may take at a time. So objectives have priority. They may clash, and sometimes one objective will clash with another. You wanted to have good food, correct, and you want to attend class. Both the things. So having good food, you may sleep in the class. So if you don't have good food, then your objective is not achieved. And if you have good food, then another objective of attending class nightly will not achieve. So what should I do? So this is every time the objective I have clash. I wanted to achieve more sales, but to achieve more sales, my sales people have to put in lot of effort. So that may put them in trouble. So it may lead to clash. So may clash with each other and could be economical or social. Like sales objective or profit objective, we call it as economical. Satisfaction of employee is a social objective, or making your employee happy is a social objective. So the characteristics of the objective could be correct economical or it could be social. And these are the characteristics you have. I'll repeat. Objectives are multiple in nature. Objectives are tangible or intangible. Objectives have priority. It may clash with each other and could be economical or social. So these are the features of objectives. Now, what are the advantages of objectives? All of you are aware of it. I need not have to explain you this because I told you without objective, nothing can be started. You don't have a goal, what will you do? You sit quietly. You don't have a goal to perform well in exam, you will never study. A manager don't have a goal to start a business, the business may not be started. If a sales executive don't have objective to increase the sales, he may not do sales. That is why it provides basis for planning. Objective provides basis for planning, developing procedures, budget, policies, etc. It acts as a motivator for individual and department. Objective motivates me. I have to increase sales by 20%. That motivates me every day. I have to score 95% in my exam. I have to clear UPSC this time. That is your goal. That will motivate you. Don't you think your goal motivates you? So your goals are nothing but the objective. So it acts as a motivator. Then it eliminates haphazard action. I'm having objective by considering all the loopholes there. So it eliminates all haphazard actions. Then it facilitates coordinated behavior of various groups. See, each group is working in their own way. And cohesiveness between this is very important. Coordinating or linking these activities are very, very important. So objective helps in that. Then it's a basis for managerial control. Without objectives, controlling cannot be done. If I tell sales executive, you have to sell your objective is to sell 5 units per day. Then at the end of the day, I can measure and see whether you have done sales or not. So it becomes a basis for managerial control. Then facilitate better management. It facilitates better management. One can manage well with objectives. That is why, since objectives are so important in our management, Peter Drucker, please make a note of it, his name, Peter F. Drucker, brought out a new philosophy to the management which is called as management by objectives. He says whole management can be done around with objectives. Objectives, management starts with objective, ends with the objectives. And whole management you can run only by objectives. And this discipline, he called it as MBO. And MBO is brought out to the world by Peter Drucker. Please remember his name. Peter Drucker in the year 1954 gave the new philosophy to the management that based on objective, that we call it as planning through management by, correct? Planning through management by objectives. So you can plan your activities by using this technique, or you can manage whole your business by using this technique, which we call it as MBO. So what is MBO? MBO is a philosophy of management that emphasizes on setting an agreed or objective by manager. So MBO is a philosophy that emphasizes on setting of objective by manager. So it's a philosophy which focus only on one concept, that is objective. And it says that the manager should have their objective, subordinates should have their objectives, and these objectives become as a primary base of motivation, evaluation and control efforts. So MBO is a philosophy which believes that management works through objectives, wherein the topmost people should have objective and lowest most people also should have objective, and these objectives should act as a motivator to them, which motivates them to do, and these activities called as a standard against which evaluation or their performance can also be measured. So MBO represents a way of thinking that concentrates on achieving results. Peter Drucker talks about achieving results, and one can achieve results if you know what you want to do. That is why objectives can help you to tell you what you have to do. At the end, you can measure and see whether you achieve that or not. So it forces management to plan explicitly, provides a systematic and rational approach to management, and help to prevent management by crisis. He says, if you run management without objective, then it is nothing but management by crisis. What has happened now, COVID-19? Suddenly, the first lockdown, when it was announced by the government, you must have seen how many people lost their life in traveling back to their native places, how many people lost their life by not having food to eat. That is called as management by crisis. We were not knowing about this crisis. We did not plan. We didn't have objectives. That is why this crisis happened. If at all we would have proper objectives, we would have planned it well, this crisis wouldn't have taken place. That is why if you don't want management by crisis, go for management by objective, because it emphasizes on measurable achievements and results and active participation in objective setting at all level of management. So today MBO is used in linking goal, objectives and plan. So it links goal or objective, any one is same. Either you use the term objective or goal and link it to plan. So also used in assessing the performance of individual, because if sales manager have set the goal, I wanted to increase sales by 20%. When I am evaluating his performance, I'll ask him, how much sales did you increase? He said 15%. Then you have not performed. Why will I give you increment? He says 20%. Oh, very good. You are eligible for increment. 25%, excellent. We'll give you reward. So objectives helps you to evaluate people performance and reward them. Correct? And that will motivate them to give their best. Now, MBO, the technique given by Peter Drucker in the year 1954. So let me teach you the various steps involved in MBO. There are 5 steps involved in MBO. The first step is the top level management will have their plan. So top management support and commitment is very, very important. If top level management is not interested in having their own objectives and they don't want to stick on to that, then MBO cannot be introduced in the organization. So that is why for the success of the organization, you should get the support from top level management and the commitment from top level management. That's the first step. Then once they say, yes, we are with you, please go ahead. Then the second step is establish long-term objective. That is the topmost level objective and plans. So overall organization goals, you develop it. Then the third step is pass on those objectives to the departments and ask them to establish the specific short-term organization objective. From long-term objective, come down to short-term objective. From short-term objective, each individual should take up the objective. So establishing the individual performance objective and standard of performance for individuals. Then comes the last step, the fifth step is appraising results. I'll give you an example, it will be easy for you. You want to introduce MBO in your organization, that is management by objective in your organization. The first step is top level management should be willing to implement this in their organization. Their support and commitment is very important. And second step is you should have a long-term objective being established in the top. So what if, for example, we wanted to grow our business by 20% in next 1 year. That is their objective. Then that objective is given to departmental head. Then departmental head will form their own objective. Business should increase by 20% means sales should increase by 30%. HR people will say that my manpower should increase by 10%. Finance will say that my finance should increase by 20%. Then purchasing department will say that my purchasing will increase by 10%. So all of them will lay down their own objectives. That is what will happen in the third step. Then once that is done, the manager will call for a meeting and tell individual, look, you all are working for sales department. Let me tell you the objective of the sales department is increasing the sales by 50%. That means each one of you have to increase your sales. So then they will tell them, formulate your own objective. So a person who was selling 5 units per day will get up and henceforth, I have to sell 7 units per day. This is my objective. So from top level management, increasing business by 20% came down to individual level, increasing the selling unit by 3 is or by 2 is what is called as individual objective. That is what MBO involved. Breaking the top level, the top level, the large objective into an individual unit and making it feasible for people to perform. And each one of them independently will be doing their job well. Then ultimately, at the end, if you appraise the result, the top level management, the individual will achieve his task of sales. Then department will achieve the sales. Then department is achieved, the organization will achieve the sales. So backward integration will happen. Then it's a forward integration through objective and backward integration through result. Both these integration will make one to achieve their task. Then appraise the result and reward the people accordingly. So that is what we call it as MBO process. Very important philosophy in management, students. Management by objectives. These are the 5 steps we follow there. What are the advantages of MBO? So advantages of MBO is it helps you to coordinate. You must have seen that top level the major plan is taken up and it is split into departmental and departmental to individual. So there's a very good coordination here. Then it helps to clarify the priorities and you get to know what are the expectations. Sales executive is very clear that every day I have to sell 7 units. The clarity is there. Then it fosters the employee motivation, motivate people to give their best. They enable managers to think about planning for results rather than merely planning for work. So they know very well, I have to produce results. So MBO directly make them do the job. Then it motivates manager to accept goals and achieve them. Then provide clear standard of control. So objective itself will become standard control against which the performance can be measured. So these are the advantages of MBO. What are the drawbacks of MBO? Drawback, some people are of opinion that not always good. So what are the disadvantages? The disadvantages is that I told you support from top level management is very important here. But the top level management says, look, we are not interested in this, then that becomes a drawback. So the first drawback is tends to fail if the strong commitment from the top level management does not exist, it will fail. Second one, necessitate considerable training for managers. MBO not easy, students. I ask you to write objective for yourself. It is so tough. You spend so much of time and waste so many fees and not able to arrive at the goals. So it requires training for people how to establish goals. I am planning to have one session on for all of you to establish your own personal goal. Goal setting session I am planning to take because I want all of you to come up in your life very, very well. So for that you should know how to establish the goal. So like that in managers also should be trained in the process of establishing the goals. then can be misused as a punitive device. Some managers will use, no, 7 units you have to sell, you sold only 5, you leave my organization and go. Actually, it involves objectives should become motivators, but here objectives will become punitive, that is punishment. If the people will think it's a way to punish people, then overemphasize on quantitative goals or objectives. Sometimes quantitative aspects we focus so much that qualitative are neglected. Sales is doing, but all sales at loss is doing and coming. What is the use of that sales? So quality is very important. So that gets neglected, then MBO will not achieve its task. Then difficulty in applying the goal-oriented planning in a very, if the environment is very dynamic, changes are happening at a very fast rate, then implementing MBO becomes very, very difficult. Then difficult in converting the broad overall objectives into detailed unit objectives. See, the broad objective, the mission of the company, I wanted to grow my business by next 20%. Bringing down that big objective into an individual objective is an art that everyone don't have that art. So the difficulty in converting the broad overall objective into detailed unit objective, and if they are not able to do that, they are not going to succeed. So that's all I have under the MBO students. A very small topic, that is management by objective. So management philosophy, very important philosophy. Whichever course you are doing it, this philosophy is very, very important. Let it be UGC NET exam, UPSC exam. This philosophy and Peter F. Drucker contribution to management is considered as very, very important. Hope you understood that. If you understood it, then please like my channel and write comments on the correct on my channel and or near my correct, and try to subscribe to my channel. Please subscribe to my channel, and any doubt you have and anything else you wanted, please write down in the comment. I am very closely following it up with all of you, and I read your comments very, very well and try to correct answer all your queries. So I am very prompt in it. You also be very prompt, right? And please learn the management with Dr. Noor. Yes, we'll end the class here. Take care till then. Okay? Take care. See you in the next class.